Hi guys. So have you ever met a dispatcher that seemed like they take the job a little bit too seriously? Way more serious than they need to be. The thing is, a lot of dispatchers also are drivers or they used to be drivers, so they should get it. They should understand. But there's also some dispatchers that seem to act as if they're middle management, that they have some kind of authoritative pull. When in reality, this letter from a dispatcher should highlight the fact that there is only drivers, then there are the DSP owners, and then there's Amazon. Maybe you're familiar with the term rolls downhill. This is exactly that. So I'm going to read the letter because I think that it's a very good, reasonable standpoint. This person knows exactly what they're supposed to be doing, and they don't seem like they're taking too many steps to do too much. They're not going above and beyond to actively hurt drivers out there. It seems like they are just concerned about their own job, about not getting in trouble themselves. I get it. It's a very difficult time financially for a lot of people out there, and you want to keep what you have. So let's go ahead and take a look at the letter. I'll read it. It's fairly short. It should be able to give you some kind of insight into what these dispatchers are thinking when they do what they do. Basically, our job entails being in contact with the driver all day long while they're on the road. So we will call them if they're moving a little too slow. We will let them know if they missed the package. They will be able to call us if they could mark a package delivered or anything like that. We're the line between Amazon and the drivers. I feel like the drivers are all adults. They know what their bodies can handle, and it's kind of off-putting to put someone in the position to call someone else and tell them to speed up more to make sure they're doing this or that. I'm a very sensitive person already, so I feel horrible, especially when you know these drivers face to face. In the morning when they come in, you can see how tired and how beat down they are. And it hurts my heart when I have to call someone and say, you got to speed up. And they're just like, I'm doing what I can. And I'm like, well, Amazon says you got to speed up. It's a stressful thing. That does make me feel like I'm pitted against them. When they come in, sometimes you have drivers who are mad at the dispatcher because of what has been going on through their day. Most of them don't understand that it's not me that's telling you these things, it's Amazon. And I have to tell you this because Amazon directed us to. My hours vary. It depends on the package count and the drivers. If I have really strong drivers that day, maybe I'll get home in 6 hours. If not, I'll probably be there all night. My regular hours are usually between 8 to 10 hours. You start with $15, $16 an hour to work for a DSP. If you have experience, you can make 17, 18 depending on what DSP you work with. When the package count varies, you can get low hours, no hours, or you can be perfectly fine. Sometimes it's a little hard, sometimes I have 30 hours for a week, sometimes under it. It's stressful to try and figure out what I'm doing to be making for that week. There's a lot of people who work second jobs. I do Grubhub and Instacart. When it comes to someone having a legit second job, say Amazon and McDonald's, you literally have to choose one or the other. You cannot work two jobs with this job, because you never know exactly what days you're going to have off or what days you're going to be working. You don't know what hours you're going to be working, and they don't really have any wiggle room for that. So you're starting at 10 o'clock, and you're going to start your second job at about 5. You're not going to make it. The number one thing that I want to put through is that even though Amazon has these DSPs in place, Amazon really calls every shot. They watch the drivers all day long. They have control of the package count. They have control of where we're taking the packages out. Another thing I want to put through is the amount of time that this job takes away from you. This is stressful when you have a family and the job breaks you down so much mentally and physically that you can't even interact with your family. I have a husband. I have a family that I can't spend time with appropriately because when I come home from work, I'm physically tired. And that happens with a lot of us. We have a lot of single parents working, and they say they feel like they can't be part of their child's life because you don't know when you're going to get off. You don't know when you're going to be able to get home on time. You don't know any of that. I really find it funny that Amazon says they support people that are going to school with flexible schedules. There's no flexible schedules for drivers and us dispatchers. You're working within their hours 24/7. I have classes myself. You drop down part-time, or you don't have anything. I feel like a union would be phenomenal because of the simple fact that we have no one to fight on our behalf. They get to do whatever they want to do with us. They change our hours at the drop of a dime. We need someone, that middleman in between, to help us, so that we have a voice with Amazon. So it seems like we have a decision to make. If you are a dispatcher, you know what the deal is. You know that it's very stressful to already deal with drivers being behind, but let's not take out our frustration on the drivers. Let's acknowledge the fact that the drivers are falling behind, and let's maybe allow them to, because that will help reset the algorithm. There's nothing that you can really do. If you push rescues on people, they're going to see that that route finishes in X amount of hours with X amount of packages, and it's just going to keep scaling until there's an optimization point. You want to be able to stop that and keep it realistic. Please stop telling people to rush. Please stop telling people to just go ahead and piss in a bottle. I'm really hoping that you're better than that. And I've said this before, you have to think, who are you working for? If you're really trying to get in Amazon's good graces, this isn't exactly the way. You're just a piece of the machine that's temporary, and it's like a lot of their goods that come from China. Once you use it up, go ahead, throw it away, because it's cheap to get another one. You're easily replaceable. Bring something to the table, but don't do it at the expense of other people, especially drivers. Enough drivers leave, they're just going to go to a flex model. Once people start getting used to random people showing up and delivering their packages for them the way that they do with food, there's really no need for a DSP. All this is doing really is allowing Amazon to be able to write off some kind of carrier fleet package, but they don't even have to pay for any of the hardcore costs and liabilities that come with that type of service. All that insurance, all the headaches, that gets pushed onto the guy that thinks they're their own business owner by being a DSP owner. And it's true, they are. There are people that have leveraged being a DSP owner into owning a transportation company that's legitimate, that does medical transport now, does their own deliveries. But that's not the norm. That is the exception to the rule. The rule is once all parties are just used up, they're going to get canned and left on the side of the road. And all that time you spent, all those people that you pissed off, all those times that you burned trying to do more than you were asked for, end up meaning nothing. I know I keep pushing all of this stuff, but this is very important because a lot of you young guys, please hear me. You can get something out of this, okay? Take this as work experience. Go into either of those fields, trades or military. If you don't want to be stuck working behind a desk or at a computer job, use that because usually those jobs come with a lot of benefits. In the military, you can use your GI Bill to end up going to school, furthering your education. You can use that to go to a trade school. You can become a pilot if you wanted to. And if you get hurt in the military, you are covered by the VA as long as you get everything documented, which is very important to do. I can't stress that enough. You need to get everything documented. You also need to take into consideration that that route might not be for everyone, but there are a lot of options, and I hate seeing the amount of young folks that go out and they hurt themselves or they get injured doing this Amazon stuff. And what do they get out of it? They don't really get anything. You got to be smart. Dispatchers, you got to remember your place too. You feel like middle management because as far as you're concerned, you are. The DSP owner treats you as if you are middle management. You might get paid a lot better, but you are not as essential to running the company as you might think. You're just like a driver. You're just as replaceable. And in the end, if unionization is too difficult to do because this is a behemoth of a company, what needs to happen is everyone needs to stick with each other at the individual level. Everyone needs to realize you're not going to build a career out of this, but you can kickstart one. So I hope this made you think. Please chill out there. It's going to start getting hot. Who knows what the situation is going to be like in a few months. Stay safe, be good, do well. Have a good one.